Testing audio. Testing audio. Okay, audio's good. Just post in places that I'm streaming. Stuff go in here. So I'm gonna pull up the stats on the screen here now. Just give me a minute to get that over. Okay. Find where the button went on this thing. There we go. So Recon Destroyer Bundle stats are now out. And, well, it's certainly something different, but I'm not quite sure how I feel on some of the stuff so far. So as usual, for the first weekend or so they're out, they're going to be 20% off. You can get the 2-pack for 5,000 Zen, so it's a nice deal. And the fleet versions only require a tier 4 shipyard, so not much big stuff there. Let's get right into the stats. I don't really care much about the specifics on the other stuff. 4 forward weapons, 3 aft weapons. This is a big issue for these ships. So this ship is going to be used with cannons. If anyone's trying to do DPS stuff, cannons are just simply the current DPS meta. They are so superior to beams right now, it's crazy. The only people using beams are... I don't know who would be using beams, to be honest. I think if I were building even a threat tank right now, I would go for single cannons and turrets with scatter volley over beams with fire at will, because beams are just that poorly performing right now. So 4 forward weapons, 3 aft. You know, it's not uncommon to have like a destroyer type ship with just 7 weapons. It's unfortunate to see it in this layout though. I would rather have seen 5 forward, 2 aft. That would have made this ship competitive with how many other options. Also, let me know if my mic's too loud. It's going into the red a bit. Okay, let's take a look here. Then the bridge officers. Ensign Tactical, we can work with it. Commander Tactical, good. Lieutenant Engineering, that's good. Lieutenant Commander Science, I mean, it's okay. And then Lieutenant Commander Universal / Intel. So, this Lieutenant Commander Universal / Intel, you are while it's a universal seat, you are basically forced to run this as an engineer if you want to do any high-end build in the current meta. Because you're going to be doing an Oxtabat build, you're going to have 2 emergency-powered subsystem abilities, your 2 Oxtabats, and then normally you would want an Inge team or reverse shield polarity for survivability. But due to the Intel seat being here, you have to sacrifice something in order to run OSS 1 or 3. Because it just is not on the best seat here. I would rather have seen the Intel seat actually on the science one in this case, because this isn't really much of a sciencey ship. It's more tactical focused, and you're losing out on survivability by having that Intel on that seat. It's just an unfortunate slotting on this ship. Then console-wise, for the C-Store version, 5 tactical, 2 engineering, 4 science. I think they might have the consoles messed up, because this is 11 here, and then the fleet one has 12. So they probably copy and pasted wrong. But that's a good layout, though. I mean, it is a bit science-heavy, but it doesn't matter, because most of the non-tactical consoles you're slotting are just going to be universals. There's not really that many good science or engineering consoles that you would want to use right now, outside of a few sets. Turn rates, that's fine. Impulse, fine. +10 to weapon and ox, that's fine. And of course can use dual cannons, but unfortunately once again it's a 4-3 layout, which is going to limit this ship. It's then got the experimental weapon slot. We'll go over the console here in a minute. And then it's got the plus accuracy, plus crit sev, plus crit chance, plus weapon damage on the ability package. That's always a good combo. And then the fleet version, just according to this, just gets a 3rd engineering console, but I think they might have messed up because this is not a Miracle Worker ship, so it should not have 12 consoles. So I'm thinking the stats up above, I'm guessing it's going to be 5 or 4 tac on the non-fleet one, and then you get the 5th there with the fleet version. I don't know, we'll need them to fix their stats for the non-fleet and fleet versions to know for sure. Yeah, turn rate, if you need turn rate, yeah, competitive engines and the emergency con officer, those are all you need. You can make anything turn fast with that combo. And the Klingon one's the same. They've got the same console layout on it, though. That's interesting. Just copy and paste. Okay, console. Hyper-focusing trinary arrays. This console, let's see here. Originally conceived as a hyper-accurate long-range scanning device capable of dissecting quantum. Yeah. Just reading it, this is not really explaining well exactly what it does. So all I'm getting from this is it does some scanning to the target, it damages them a bit. We'll have to see. We actually are going to need to have the console on hand to see what this thing exactly does, because what they've typed here doesn't tell us fully what the console's going to actually do. And then it's got a passive boost to shield hardness and shield pen skills. It's okay. But the shield hardness and shield pen skills, I can tell you right now without even seeing this, like the specifics on the consoles, that these numbers are going to be rather small, probably 15 to 20, I'm gonna guess. And it's gonna be basically nothing. So unless the clicky on this thing is good, you're not gonna use the console. And then the Starship trait. While this trait is active, defeating enemies or healing allies will grant you 1 stack of it, a maximum of once every 4 seconds, which lasts until you leave combat or are defeated. After reaching 5 stacks, you and your teammates will receive a large boost to speed and turn rate, while also having all Bridge Officer ability recharge timers reduced. This is once again something where we have to wait and see the numbers, because we don't know how good something is without the numbers. Has anyone got any questions over this thing? Have I missed anything specific with this ship? Because right now it looks like a decent like destroyer, but it's nothing new or anything that's going to be like meta changing. It's with the 4-3 layout and the bridge officer layout issues, this isn't even going to be like a really high-end meta ship. It's just limiting itself. Yeah, 5-2 and intel on the Lieutenant Commander Sai, yeah, would make this ship amazing. And yeah, the console's probably damage and scan, as you said, is a minus DRR, but we have to see the specifics. We've already got how many debuffs, and this is just going to be one that's on the console that's a 2-minute clicky, so need to see the specific stats. I think that's it for this, unless anyone has any other things they want me to go over for this. Back in the game, finally got this combat buff back up. Had the Okay. One here. Just running out of dill on the Fed side. I'm just looking at Discord. Yeah, Chili 4-3 with an experimental weapon. It could be nice, and it can run rapid fire 3. So yeah, it's gonna be able to do something. It's just that compared to other ships, it's not gonna be able to do as much as others. And we're actually lacking fleet marks on the KDF side. You see something new every day. I mean to hit that. Just curious to see how other the fleets in the Armada are doing with their colonies. We're a bit behind on the KDF side, but looks like so are quite a few others. There's quite a few here that aren't even like tier 2 or 3. I think it's just too expensive. Also, if anyone's in TBC and did enter the giveaway, check the Fleet Announcements channel to see if you won anything. I've mailed out the grand prize and the second tier prizes, but just waiting for some more stuff to sell for the third tier. But I'm looking at that ship again, and it's just very unfortunate. That is surely a ship that has a lot of potential if there were just a few changes to its layout. Hold on just a minute, I'll be right back. Someone tell me what ship I should take out here. Let's see. Though there's about a quarter of these that I can't take out. I'm just gonna set up with some cannons on whatever it is, so I'll be right back. Hello, Siren. I'm doing fine. Just woke up a little bit ago. Class is starting later this week, so all the fun stuff that comes with the start of the semester. And do the Mogai. That's another ship that's limited because of its 4-3 layout. The Jem'Hadar Dread was just limited because of its layout also, but the thing going for that at least is it can do the torp spam with the rapid fire. Yeah, it should be. Actually, I think I forgot to do the one the other day, now that you mention it. Oops. Let's see. One more non-tac console to use here. Hello, Spectral Stargazer. Just thinking of what else I'm gonna slot here. Building a new KDF tune? Oh, that's always fun. I've done that way too many times. The only satisfying thing about that is punching the Ferengi. Oh, it's already on the track. Yeah, I'm doing another rapid fire build because it's just too much fun. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming, Kyle. I'm just trying to stream every now and then. I don't think I'm going to be able to... Well, I guess this time might work next week. We'll see. "24-hour streams, that is not going to happen. Not for me. Not right now, at least." that was still a pretty bad run. There just wasn't enough team DPS to clear out the spheres. Yeah, we had 2 under 10, 1 at 15, 1 at 41, so... yeah. Currently leveling an engineer. I will be leveling a Psi KDF after the only thing I gotta say, you know, with the science is on a KDF side, you are very limited. If you're going science, I'd highly recommend going Fed ROM or just pure Fed. There's so many more science ships available. KDF side has the most limited ship selection choice for science ships. Just very unfortunate. And as fun as this ship is, it's already annoying me how bad it's doing compared to others. I'm gonna swap characters. I went over them at the start of the stream, but I mean, they're decent ships. The issue is that they're limited. They have a 4-3 layout. Let me pull them back up on screen quick. What is the issue with these new ships? Number 1, 4-3 weapon layout. That is rather limiting in the current meta compared to the ships that have a 5-2 layout, which there's now quite a few of. Number 2 is the intel seat is on the Lieutenant Commander Universal. Now, if you're doing anything remotely close to meta, you're forced to make this Universal an engineer. So you have Lieutenant Engineer plus Lieutenant Commander Engineer. The intel seat in this situation would be much better on the Lieutenant Commander Science seat. Just because you need the engineer stuff much more than the science on something like this. They've got this thing set up a bit science heavy though, so I don't know. But that's the 2 big issues with these ships. We don't quite know if these consoles are right now because there's 11 on the C-Store version and 12 on the Fleet one, so that's a bit weird. I'll have to see if they say anything about that. The console we know basically nothing about because their description of it isn't the best. And then the Starship trait, as usual, we need to wait for the stats to see. And yeah, that pretty much sums up what I think about these ships. If you want to see the full thing, it's at the beginning of the VOD. I spent about 10-15 minutes on them. Okay. The debris. Yeah, it's got a lot of similarities to a lot of older ships. Gotta mail out some more prizes for the TBC giveaway, so gotta find a ship to sell.
There will be a short downtime for the exchange at 1400 hours.
Some of these ships have gone so cheap. $230 to $240 on average for these low buy ships is crazy low. Yeah, it was one I had posted about a while back.
There will be a short downtime for the exchange at 1400 hours.
There was an internal and external giveaway we were doing for the Breakfast Club's 5th anniversary, and just getting the prizes together. I've got the grand prize already mailed out, and the second tier, I just need to get the third tier, which is like, it's just 25 master keys to 25 people each get one master key.
Exchange rate is available on the monitors.
Basic summary of that. Adalith's 250, but that takes forever to sell. I'm just gonna go with the Vengeance. There's more demand for those than the Psy ships.
There will be a short downtime for the exchange at 1400 hours.
Gonna do something on my Fed. Fire stuff, and while it's just more the same, just gonna do that. Below Zaitin. Just a few cooldowns here. I'm not gonna do another ISA though. I'm gonna do... If anyone wants to do Kittimer, just join the queue. Kittimer Advanced. Space, of course. I'm just looking at Red to see if they've said anything. Kittimer's popped. Yeah, it just popped. Looking at Reddit, they have not said anything about that console. Are you doing more?
Shields failing. Target shield.
to swap to something else after this, though. I really, really like the with the rapid fire I'm doing on the Jem'Hadar Dread. The torp spam with the stuff I use just adds so much more. Rapid fires misfired for about the 5th time so far, it seems, this match. It's really irritating. Okay. I think I'm gonna grab a new ship. One that I haven't messed with on this. Well, I did it a long time ago on this one, but I'm gonna grab one over on SOD. I'm gonna swap for that. I want to try, you guys know the Prometheus class, the Advanced Escort, I think the in-game STO name is. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna put a rapid fire high yield spam build on it. I think that'll work really well. I'm gonna do the typical cannon setup that I do with rapid fire. And then probably the Delphic Torp, because that's just such a good torpedo. Wrong button again. Would help. Just grabbing this for the console in case I want to use it. I'm just grabbing both the C-Store ones so I have the consoles if I decide I want to use them on this setup. Probably not, but it's always good just to be safe. What do I think of the multi-vector? It's a good... it's situational. In the past, it's been decent for some, and a lot of times they act a bit weird. See you, Zaitan. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see here. Debating if I want to go pure disruptor or not. I'm gonna stick with my little weird hybrid setup. Once I find the piezo polaron cannon in this mess. It's not an alphabetical order, so this is fun. And it's easier for me to just close that, go to the ship I was last using that had it, and just drag it off. That's much easier. So 4 tactical plus 1 with the fleet, yeah. That seems more fitting. Hello, Dragon. Hello, David. Where's the Delphic? Actually, I'm gonna go pure disruptor because I'm gonna try a different torp again. Do the Saboteur set. I'm just setting up another terrible build. No, there's no dill boost up now. I would be very upset if there was. We're back on the combat buff, the only weekly buff anyone should ever slot. He did it to EG also? Oh man. That sucks. Probably should kick him for that. Basically, same build, different ship. But most of this stuff is anyways. Actually, let's see, how bad are the stats on this two-piece? Ugh. The crit chance is okay, but that's a 10% cat 1 damage buff. And EPRM. What is the TAC console on the right? That is the Counter Command Multi-Conduit Energy Relay. The big thing about it is the two-piece it has with the heavy turret. It's a... let me pull it up here. 7.5% Cat 2 phaser and disruptor damage buff. So just that 7% Cat 2 is basically equivalent to what a TAC console is normally going to give you. A normal TAC console. So that's a very good two-piece to run if you're on phasers or disruptors, the heavy turret and the attack console. Oh boy. Nope. Estia it is. Yeah, just leave it stock Estia, I think. There we go. Oh boy, this is a mess to fix. Beta. The beam overload one is to help trigger the colony attack consoles, because I know someone's going to ask, why do you have beam overload on? Oh no. I didn't even realize the ship had this bad layout. Oh man. Okay, what have I gotten myself into with this? I can do a single ox to bat. Or I can do concentrate firepower 1, but I need the CF3 for this build. Oh man. Let's see how bad Photonic Officer 1 and Ox to bat 1 times 1 can do. Intel Strat, let's go Constable. I didn't realize the bridge officer layout on this ship was that bad. Let's see, which of these is best? So Gamma can be removed. Alpha or Beta seems the best there. Single ox to bat. That's always a good sign for a build. This is such a terrible layout. I don't know why I went with this. This bridge officer layout is terrible. This is another ship where they put the specialization seat on the lieutenant commander engineer, just like this new ship, basically. And it would be so much better on the lieutenant commander science. Because I can't run dual aux to bat and do the concentrate firepower 3. Just not an option here. I'm gonna spam abilities and just look at my cooldowns. Oh, this is gonna be painful. It'll be fine for short fights, but that's about it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get some XP for it, so Tholian Red Alert. Nuke the tarantulas. That's the issue with most ships, is the bridge officer layout. It's the issue, especially as I went over with this new ship. It's not as bad as this on the new ship, at least, because at least the new ship can do dual aux to bat. And still have an OSS-3 or something if you want, but you're sacrificing some survivability for it. Omega, you tell me what else to do with this thing. This layout on this is terrible. I don't really have many options with it, man. Don't use a torp or discard it. Yeah. This isn't gonna get the highest, like, ISA numbers, but this torp spam stuff on this is going to just destroy whatever it's shooting at. Trying to think what else I can do here. Yeah. I honestly forgot that the ship had this layout on it. I wouldn't have went to it. I would have did something else. Let's see here. Something different. Just sad. You look through most of the queues, and most of them you don't want to do because they just suck. Time gated stuff. I have no idea who this is. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, they've already fixed it. Like I look at most of these queues, and like most of these just aren't fun to go and do. A lot of these have time gates on them. Some of them are broken. Azure Nebula, it's broken. There's a Herald Sphere. This thing's been broken on and off. If it's not broken, most of them just have some sort of time gate that makes them not fun to play. And then you get devs that complain when you go on about that. I guess stick to the classic Borg stuff. I'm gonna do another Kittimer if anyone wants to join. Kittimer Advanced. Once again, if anyone wants to join, it's Kittimer Space Advanced. Yeah, this new ship. Yeah, it's the same issue. The Universal, it's not really a Universal, it's an engineer. Nothing else is gonna work really well on there. I've gotten some flack for saying this one before, but it seems a lot of the time they have the really nice looking ships will often have terrible layouts on them, and then the bad looking ships end up having some amazing layout on them. Like, that was something we were saying quite a bit back when the Imperium, the Crown of Imperium, was such a good ship. But it's such a terrible looking ship, but it performed so. Yeah, I just decided to try using it again, Omega. I've been using the Delphic mostly. And the Delphic does seem to be quite a bit better. Yeah, for doping against really big targets, it's a really, really good option, but for general use, the Delphic is better and it doesn't require another weapon slot and the console. Okay. I have a few different options here. I'm just debating what I'm going to go with. So I tested this thing out the other day, the Plasma Storm module off of the Maquis Raider, and that was just so disappointing. I think I might do just another survivability console. The cooldown on the bridge officer abilities is driving me nuts right now, I'll admit. It's... The photonic officer isn't enough to keep the Oxtabat down. In order for the photonic officer stuff to even work, you gotta have enough spec and or enough investment in some of the readiness stuff, which I just do not have. Why not? I guess Q for infected and cure, whatever pops first. Okay, cure pops instantly. I don't have enough cooldowns so the rapid fire's not up all the time. This is very bad. This is a ship I was really, really wanting to get working for, like, actually using, but I completely overlooked that the bridge officer layout on it was so limited. If you want to run the ship with the special layout Cryptic gave it, you can't actually take advantage of it. Yeah, you do that, Omega. I'm gonna see, I need some, what I really need is some tack readiness. Some inj readiness would be fine also. Obfuscation screen would give me 50. I just need something for cooldown reduction. Because the single Oxtabat in this Photonic Officer is just not working. If I had the Vomp trait, that would help quite a bit here. I don't have that leveled up, though. Should have... And the rest isn't enough. You ready, Omega? It's gonna be ISA public queue here. Okay, ISA public queue, Instapop. Okay, so we're both on rapid fire. This is gonna go great. You go left, I'll go right. good run. So, I mean, with the torp setup, this thing can burst down the side while it's just, it's outside of, like, quick burst, it's very limited for sustained combat. I think I'm done with it. It's the, just watching the cooldown on my abilities not going all the way is annoying me. I'm going to swap back to pretty much the ultimate CRF Torp build, which is, of course, the Scimitar, because the Scimitar is pretty much the best at everything. Ooh, and there's an HSE going. Let's get in that. I'm gonna take in my pure rapid fire loadout. I don't feel like going back to the scatter volley. And with this ship, I don't have to worry about cooldown reductions because it's got dual aux to bat. There are many things that make this ship the best ship in the game, performance-wise. Omega, you gotta call it out, man. It's in 75. I can't invite you, Omega. Oh yeah, he is full. I guess we're just waiting for this guy to get done, but oh boy. On wave 21 of a sim? Yeah. Omega. Where you at? I'm not gonna sit here and wait for 10 to 15 minutes for someone to finish a thing. Not sure what to queue us for. We got all the fun queues done. I need to do my daily. Something where AoE is good. I mean, you can AoE in CCA. I haven't done my daily, so... We've got pretty much everything with good AoE, like, knocked out. All of the board queues that are actually fun, we've done. Except Hive. We could do Corfez, but we need a full high D. And we'd all need to be on single target. I like how we just took it to like under 60% there. It's supposed to lock. Oh, it went above, so it healed. Oh no. Mega, get them fragments. Easy. I like how, for the most part, all they did with the changes is made it so you just can't go and instantly pop the thing in like 10 to 15 seconds total, but you still are instantly taking it from like 100 to 66, 66 to 33, and then, you know, from each section it just takes a few seconds. So all they've done is effectively added in just time gates. Which I understand why they did it. We were completely destroying the queue with exotic builds, but still slightly annoying. But at least it's not long like the mirror one. That mirror event just needs to be completely reworked. It's terrible. Yeah, the Torp's not doing well in CCA right now for me. Oh, for you? You see, I was trying the energy Torps, and in most of the results I was getting is the energy Torps just, they're nice, but they do not work out to be better than another cannon on a cannon build. On a beam build, I understand, yeah, because beam sucks so much, but for cannons, it's a different story. Cannons are actually good. Beams have just been knocked down so much, they were over-nerfed. They were the thing for, what, 4 or 5 plus years, and Cryptic did not like that. They hit him with the Nerf bat, and they kept beating him once they knocked him on the ground. That's basically what Season 13 did to beams. All of the nice board cues are on cooldown. This hurts my immersion. Omega, do you have a rapid fire setup on that thing? I imagine you probably do. So for those that have not seen Corfez, ever since the changes with Victory's Life and the HP ramp up, you basically need a ton of you need to have a lot of DPS. There's no way I would bring in a beam build nowadays. I would only bring like just a nice cannon build, scatter volley, or ideally rapid fire. Rapid fire is really good for Corfez. And you could also do an exotic build, but there's no way I'd bring a beam build in. We not having people on for Corfez though, is the question. They changed how weapon powers scaled with stuff. Let's see, they fixed the procs. Like, Fire at Will, I guess I should state, Fire at Will itself sort of sucked before Season 13. Like, if you ignore the procs and if you ignore plasma explosions, Fire at Will wasn't super amazing. It was those things on top of Fire at Will and how they interacted with Fire at Will that made it so good. So they stripped away all of that, and it just put Fire at Will where it really was at, which was quite poor performing. And then they bumped up cannons a nice bit. We just saw the scatter volley change a few months ago, and that was a huge change for scatter volley. They also gave Fire at Will its extension trait in the form of a threat trait, which was very bad. You have to take threat and be shot at a ton for the Fire at Will duration extension trait to fully work, which is not ideal for most builds. Who do we have on in the channels. Nobody saw anything. Yeah, ISA DPS is easy, but I don't think we're gonna get people for Corfez. That's a shame. Okay, Omega, I guess if this doesn't go, I'll just invite you to the team again. What we can do is just go pop Gates and Kittimer. I know you love doing that. Yeah, we're not getting people from Fez. I'm only gonna do 1 or 2 more things, then I'm gonna hop off. Need to get some food, and then I'm probably gonna do a different game. I don't get why people are opening the old lockboxes. Why would you go and open the Iconian one? You're so much better off opening Infinity. Just doesn't make sense. I don't know if I should stream me playing Rainbow Six Siege, because what happens a good chunk of the time is it's either I'm having a good day over there or I'm having a bad day. Yeah, it's... Did have some nice games the other day, though. We had a streamer we went up against. That was pretty fun. Banans, if you know her. I was in a 4-stack on Discord, and we won that game 5-3 on Oregon. Just a really good game. I don't know, I might, annoy people also with me maining Blackbeard. I think I'm at like 74 hours on Blackbeard now. Such a great operator. I put us in the queue, why isn't it going? I have not used the new ops on the TTS yet, no. Seriously, Blackbeard is like my main. It's actually quite sad. 74 hours and the next is Twitch at 43. It's terrible. I need to get these operators played with a bit more. I want to have everything over a 1.0 KD at least. I hate the shields too much. Mirror's most played defender. At least that's a bit closer to the others. Omega, go for left gate. Good job. Oh no, Omega. We're letting pro. Omega, can you come help with the other gate? Oh, you okay? Oops, didn't mean to hit that. Yeah, it's everything. Or not. It's funny watching people like struggle to kill the probes and stuff. Close. When you get within like 5 kilometers of her, she cloaks. Then she decloaks right on top of you. Doesn't matter, she's dead. Omega, that's such a terrible ship, man, you know? I should get something back together for that so I can actually do some PvP, though. That ship there, the Engineer Pilot Warbird, is the best PvP escort in the game right now. Has been for quite some time. And let's see, maybe one more queue and then I'm gonna call it. Infected's only on a minute. Just go in and nuke the gate right off the bat and infected, and then you go left, I go right. We'll have some pugs asking what just happened, as usual. I wish we had more queues like the Borg ones. These are the ones you see people running all the time, but they just don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to give us queues where we can complete them at our own pace. And in response, we see which queues are played and which, well, generally aren't. If only we had elites of those Borg ones, though. It's only been 4 years. Omega, what's your cooldown on ISA? There we go. Yeah, I gotta go right after this, so let's nuke this thing. So, this ISA to wrap things up, I will be streaming again a little bit on Thursday. When the new ships come out, I'll actually get them, take a look at the console and trait, see if they're any good. I don't think that'll be a long stream though, because my first classes for this semester are going to be Thursday evening. fire, misfire, of course. Job. That was a nice backwards ISA, nuking the wrong stuff first. But yeah, that wraps up today's stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I will be streaming again on Thursday, going over the new ships once again. Specifically the traits and the console, or the trait and the console. Just to see if they're any good. The ships we already know are slightly limited. They're going to do okay, they're just not going to do as well as other ships out there. So, yeah. Tune in for that if you're interested in that, and I'll probably be doing my weekly Ask Me STO question stream again on Friday, because I don't think I'll have anything going on Friday, so yeah. Thanks all for tuning in, I'll see you next time.